Good morning and welcome here from Stuttgart, Germany for the third day of this year's DGNB Annual Congress. So as you hear it from the very beginning, today we switch completely from German into English because for us today is a very special day as we have for the very first time an own international day here at this format. And for the introduction, we have a short round as a setting the scene together with our two CEOs at DGNB, Lemaitre and Johannes Kreißig. Happy to have you with us. I just want to, for the beginning, to give you some, for those ones who didn't join us in the last two days, as you see it on our on the platform of the event, there's the opportunity to bring in your own thoughts within the chat, and if you want to participate also with questions for the moderation, feel free to put in some questions in the Q&A so that the moderators of the different sessions get your thoughts right direct here in front to use them for their moderations. The first 2 days were very intense for us. We have more than 1,000 people joining us in the last 2 days, so we're quite happy. And today there will be a lot more because, as we have here, a huge number of participants from foreign countries. We have registered participants from 37 countries, and we have speakers here today from all around the globe, from 15 different countries. I just wrote them down to tell you it's from China, from Egypt, from Ghana, from Luxembourg, the Ukraine, Slovenia, Belgium, Spain, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, the UK, Switzerland, Austria, and Liechtenstein. So we named it an International Day, and it's a really international day. As there might be a lot of audience here today with us who didn't join DGNB events that often as in Germany, for me it was very important also to introduce you too, because maybe a lot of the ones out there don't know, Johannes, that you are one of the very few persons who had the idea to found this organization even before 2007. So it's you're not only a founding member, but you're one of the initiators. And Christine, the anecdote that we have always when introducing you is that your very first working day was at the Bau Trade Fair in 2009, where the first DGNB certificates were awarded. So therefore the first question to you, how special is this day for you to have this first big international day after all this time?
Yeah, thank you, and good morning as well from my side. Yeah, as you can imagine, it's a very special day for us because working internationally actually has been at the core of the DGNB, I would say, since we started, and especially since we have launched the system in 2009. We started our first collaborations with the Green Building Councils in Austria and in Switzerland in 2009. So to show that international community and give a stage to our international community is something very close to our heart and to our belief that sustainability is, in the end, it's teamwork. We need to learn from each other. It's not this, we export something in other countries. We learn a lot from our partners. And I think we had it in the last 2 days where, especially for our German discussions or sometimes European discussions, I think we always feel like we're the only ones having these challenges. And I find it always very inspiring to see that certain topics are topics all around the world, and that there may be countries who see it more as a positive opportunity, that the transformation is not a burden, but it's more a chance for doing more business, creating a better built environment. And this is where we decided, let's do a day, an international day, to show all these different perspectives and to actually show the people behind it. And the number of countries or the names you just listed, this is not, we always work with and collaborate with like-minded people and organizations. So for us, it's not a question how big is a market, like a company would do it. So it is really more to bring together a network of like-minded people.
The way we work as an organization at DGNB, Johannes, is quite special because DGNB is not an umbrella organization, maybe like the World Green Building Council or the Global Alliance for Building and Construction, who bring in from originally a global perspective, like-minded organizations, but we're not also not only a normal, let me call it a normal national green building council, which is pretty much focused on acting on local, on regional markets. So why did the DGNB decide from the very beginning to have this road to look not only to Germany, but from the very beginning, even if we have the D for Deutschland, for Germany in the name, why did we choose this way?
I think from the very beginning it was clear that it's not good enough to drive a successful transformation in one of the countries, in Germany or in another country. It's always about collaboration, about working together, transfer of knowledge, transfer of technology, and to stimulate also in other countries and to learn the other perspective. It's not that we are living on an island. We are living together, we are working together, we are in a global economy, and we have the common duty to have a global transformation. And without that, it's not good enough. I mean, look for the global CO2 emissions. Look for the emissions in Europe. We are at about 7%, and we are on the way to reduce it to 4%. But what's about the 93%? It's not good enough to have it in one of the countries. I just can repeat it.
You also personally are very much engaged in international activities. You were both for sometimes, for example, in the board of directors at the World Green Building Council, but not only in this role, but in a lot of other roles. You were at a lot of climate conferences at the COPs. So why do you believe, or do you believe that Germany is some sort of a role model that others learn from? And also the other question, why do you do so? So why are you so motivated to be around the globe and exchange thoughts and ideas with other like-minded people?
Yeah, I think, is Germany a role model? I think that's a very difficult question. I think for some time maybe Germany was kind of a role model. I think we're still a country with a very long tradition of engineering, of good architecture, of high quality building materials and a high quality of buildings per se. I think at the moment we have a very big lack of ambition when it comes to making that transformation happening and to fulfilling the emission reduction goals. And I think, and like Johannes said it, in the end it's about learning from each other, you know, and it's, if you always like wait for someone else to go ahead, you know, we all might wait a long time, and I think that is always like the valuable thing as well at the COPs. To meet the network, to see where they are, how topics are developing, because you know it's a transformational process. There are new topics always coming up. You know, we need to move forward. So to kind of like align that internationally or globally, I think is very valuable. And in the end, it's about cutting the learning curve. We just need too much time if every country kind of goes through the same experiences, realizes, ooh, this is maybe not a good idea, let's do it another way. So this is what we offer, hopefully, to our partners, is our experience, our knowledge, our mistakes. But on the other side, and that becomes more and more crucial, I think, and we will address that today with Shift, it's as well to learn from other countries, from countries who have been built in a world with high temperatures, with low tech, with regional materials, because that is something, at least in Germany or Northern Europe, or maybe in the global north, that is being rediscovered at the moment. And I think maybe a bit too technical and too theoretically, and I think that's the big value, to really learn hands-on from other countries.
Johannes, in the afternoon you will also host 2 sessions that focus on certification. When DGNB was founded, there were already some rating systems there on an international level. Nevertheless, we decided at DGNB to have the DGNB system. Maybe just as for the introduction here, in very short words, why did we decide to do so?
The decision was clear. This time, and still now, we have a different understanding of sustainability. It's a more holistic understanding to integrate and to bring into balance the environmental, the economic, and the social and cultural aspects. And this balance, you cannot do just on one side on the story. And so it was clear we need a different way of evaluation, of assessment, and we need a different way of bringing that into balance, and we need different tools for that. And there was a lot of experience already in the early 2000s years, and I mean, looking back in the 90s already, you could find passive houses in Germany, in other regions. That was quite new, and 20 years later still. And therefore, technology was existing, knowledge was existing. The lack was really an organization bringing that together and integrating that in a transformation tool.
For today, what do you expect?
Well, I hope that we learn from each other. I hope that we see different perspectives and maybe take certain challenges we have ourselves in whichever country is watching at the moment, maybe not so serious, and understand that we don't have to reinvent the wheel again and again. There's a lot of knowledge out there, and we should just use that. We should be more pragmatic, and that we're a community. I think that is something we would like to bring across in this day today.
And additionally, it's clear we are not looking for an extra business model, or so there's no need for us to do so. We are looking for transferring the instrument for transformation into other regions. That does not mean that it's the same instrument there, but it's the same experience which is in there and could be used in other regions. And that's clear. It's an offering to use and to become part of this journey, to work together, and but it's also the task in the countries to highlight the aspects which are important in the country, and then to focus also the instruments for that. And I think we will have a great day, and having these aspects in the different sessions, and yeah, what I'm looking for, inspiration.
So when we just begin to start, maybe in the afternoon we'll focus on certification, on pioneers, on the international market for DGNB. We will focus on our academy and how we work internationally. We will in the morning we will more have a focus on views into other markets. We will also look on a EU perspective with our CPIA panel, and where we focus on the EU taxonomy right before lunch. This morning we created together with our system partners, and maybe just, I don't know if you wanted to introduce in the next round that you will moderate, but maybe for the ones who don't know, what's the idea of those system partners at DGNB?
Yeah, I think it's, we try to classify a little bit the ways of collaboration. I mean, we collaborate with many organizations, green building councils, companies, universities, and we try to have certain, let's say, a category to make sure we have the same ambition in terms of collaboration. And the system partners are basically always green building councils like us. That is quite important to us, that it's a transparent, open organization where everyone can join as a member, and where there's as well like this this critical thinking, this further development of topic, where there's a room for discussion, what you learn from certification, because certification is just a tool, but you need to adapt the tool to local conditions, and you need to further develop the tool. And this is what we do with our system partners. So basically we give them our certification system, training, knowledge, support where we can, and the idea is that then they adapt the DGNB system to the local standards, codes, conditions, climate zones, and that they really build an organization around that, and that they use the knowledge they get from certification to speed up the transformation. Like Johannes said, it's not about a business model. I think we see maybe from other tools out there. It is really, I mean, this is what we've learned as DGNB in almost 20 years. It is really the core of transformation, and you generate so much knowledge from that because it's actually practical experience. What can the market do? What what is too challenging for the market, where are like still the gaps. And this is, I would say, system partners are like-minded organizations like us, who are like on the same journey, and they're just using the experience of the DGNB and the DGNB system to, not start from zero, like I said, to cut the learning curves, to save a lot of money and time, and to just get going.